After 5 long years, Forza Horizon 6 is finally here. Well, at least as of this video dropping. It's officially available to the public and everyone who didn't shell out for the premium edition today. But with a launch this massive and a map this highly anticipated, I figured it was a no-brainer to invest into the premium edition and dive into the game 4 days early. I wanted to see what the new Horizon would actually be like, and if it really lives up to the astronomical hype. I've tried to keep most things about this game a surprise for me so I could go in with a completely open mind. So in today's video, after exactly 2 hours of gameplay, not 24, we're going to look through the good, the bad and the beautiful. So let's get started. Starting off with the things that I don't really like, and it's the first offender of this game's sheer and ridiculous size. I bought this game on Friday, hoping to have it installed and be behind the wheel in no time. But instead, I was slapped in the face by a massive 146GB installation. I have pretty fast internet, but this thing took absolutely ages. Fast forward to Saturday morning and it was still a work in progress, so I had to hold off until the afternoon. And unfortunately, my Saturday evening was pretty jam-packed, so I didn't get time to play it. Fast forward to Sunday morning and 9 AM arrives and I'm thinking, surely it's go time. Nope. Even though the files were downloaded and the game was installed, I had to wait for the game to unpack all over again. So it wasn't until Sunday afternoon until I really got a crack at Forza Horizon 6. But once it actually booted up, man, the intro was exactly what you'd expect from Forza. You're thrown into a seriously impressive car, driving through a massive pack of drivers, exploring the contrast of the map. You get a solid taste of rugged off-roading before immediately transitioning to a tight technical tollgate roads in a gorgeous RWB Porsche 911. After the cinematic spectacle drops, you meet up with 2 of your friends, and you get introduced to your first real choice. You're handed the keys to pick up either a Nissan Silvia S13, a Toyota Celica, or a GMC. This brings us on to one of the most anticipated and easily one of my favourite parts of the entire game, the return of festival wristbands. We haven't seen proper wristband progression or even Forza progression in general since Horizon 2 or 3 to be honest, and it's a massive breath of fresh air. The entire progression system has completely been reworked. It actually feels like you are generally grinding and building towards something new. I have to admit, the progression still moves a bit too fast for my liking, but it's not the end of the world. It's miles better than Forza Horizon 5, which was just way too easy. They handed you hypercars from the very beginning, and it felt half as rewarding. Now, you still get stuff willy-nilly in Forza Horizon 6, and it can be a bit too much here and there. Now let's talk about the map, because Horizon 6 Japan map is absolutely mega. It's massive, but most importantly, it is incredibly beautiful. I don't even know if it's the new shading system they're using, or if they really just perfected the lighting engine, but the cars and the environment look stunning here. There are so many distinct districts and biomes that after 2 hours I've barely scratched the surface. Every area looks and feels unique, completely avoiding that repetitive copy and paste vibe that plagued the Horizon 5 map, and in some spots it definitely gave off major Forza Horizon 4 nostalgia, and I am incredibly intrigued to see how this map continues to look as the seasons change. The car list is a massive selling point for Forza, and in typical fashion, Horizon 6 delivers. Even if we are missing a few specific cars from past titles, they likely will inevitably drop later as DLC or playlist rewards. But the big win here, Playground Games actually fixed some of the ancient, inaccurate car models that have been haunting the franchise for what feels like decades. The iconic Nissan Silvia S15 and the Mitsubishi Evo 6 are 2 cars that have been completely remodeled from scratch, and they look so much better. If you know me, you know I am an absolute sucker for an Evo, so getting my hands on this beautifully reworked Evo 6 Tommy Mackinnon edition early on and just cruising around in it has been a pure joy. That being said, the job isn't finished. Cars like the Evo 8 still look a bit off to me, so hopefully these will be getting the same treatment soon or in future titles. Game mode wise, the usual suspects like road racing, dirt and cross country are all back. But to bulk things up, they've added a few delivery missions where you act as a delivery driver. It feels like the devs are embracing their inner Initial D here, forcing you to hustle food packages down tight roads and through a big bustling city like Tokyo, as fast and as cool as possible. This is similar to delivery missions in Horizon 4. Speaking of Initial D, they've introduced a dedicated toge mode. I've been testing it out in the Evo 6 and I'm so far seriously impressed. The roads are incredibly tight and punishing. You generally have to prioritise your braking zones and use the handbrake perfectly. Once you get the rhythm down, you can completely embrace your inner Takumi Fujiwara. To back up the driving, we've got a solid selection of new radio stations. Historically, Horizon-based Arena was my go-to, but in this game it sadly feels like it's fallen off just a tiny bit. So instead I've been listening to Horizon Pulse, which has completely stolen the show for me. The track list is very strong. You've got Tame Impala, Porter Robinson's Cheerleader, and an incredible Salute remix. And let's be real here, if you don't know who Salute is, you're just not cool. To conclude, I still have so much more of Horizon 6 to cover, but I simply don't have the time to binge play the entire game in one sitting. I wanted to put together a quick, honest and early review so I can compare my thoughts today to a full review down the line, which will be way more detailed once I finish the main campaign and unlock the Legends Island. So do keep an eye out for that video. And what do you think? Is Forza Horizon 6 class or trash? Let me know down in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the video, why not like, share and subscribe? And as always, thank you all so much for watching, hope to see you all very soon.